Hey, what is up? In my last 2023 arty tips and tricks video, I recommended only carrying standard HE shells, and in today's video I'm going to explain why. In today's video I only shoot premium shells and AP shells with the higher penetration. Now normally if you're playing your tank and want to have highest efficiency, you will always pick the premium ammo or gold ammo because of the higher penetration values. That would mean higher chances of damage per shot. Now what you see me doing here is clearing out the trees, making a nest. I'm not just knocking down one tree, I'm knocking down all the trees that are around me, just in case the enemy artillery is trying to scout my location and counter battery. Now arty is a different class of tanks that have, terrible accuracy and slow aim time. The HE shells depend on radius damage and splash tanks that are close by to the impact zone of the shell. For example, the stock HE shell for this tank has a 10.5 meter splash radius, while the premium HE shell has only 6 meters of splash radius. This is almost half the splash damage potential of regular HE shells. The AP shells is even worse. It has 0 splash damage, meaning it has to hit your target directly in order to do any kind of damage. And although the AP shell has very high penetration, for example this tank, it has 314 millimeters of AP penetration, in my experience you hit or you pen about 1 every 4 shots. So if you decide to use premium HE shells and AP shells, you need to be fully aimed and have RNG to be your best friend at the same time. Now you see me spending a lot of time here pointing to where I want to shoot, marking it down, asking my teammates for help. Now these two guys, the Leopard and the TVP, are doing a very bad job trying to spot for me. When I place down my marker and tell them this is where I'm aiming, they should be making an effort to poke over the hill with their turrets to spot the enemy so that I can see them clearly. They are doing a very poor job in that, and because of this you can see that we've lost one of those tanks. The TVP is dead. We only have the Leopard and the Char Future 4 that is surviving in this location, and pretty soon they are going to be overrun if they are not careful. And that is the reason why I'm spending a lot of time pointing my gun at the north, helping them. But if they're not going to spot for me and they're not going to let me help them, I need to focus my attention into the city where there are easier shots. Now, the other disadvantage of premium and AP ammo is the shell trajectory. The premium HE shells flies lower than the stock HE shells, and AP shells fly even lower than HE shells. This makes targeting of any kind of uneven terrain or partially obstructed by rubble, large rocks or small structures very difficult indeed. These premium HE shells and AP shells fly very low, so you need flat terrain in order to hit your enemies. If they're hiding behind buildings, rocks, rubbles, it makes it a lot more difficult. In an artillery you cannot afford to miss any shot because your reload times take very long. In the big picture of things, the stock HE shell with the wider splash damage radius will contribute to more damage, and because of that shell velocity, it flies high in the air and lands almost straight down into the ground. Your chances of hitting your targets and doing actual damage is a lot higher. Your stun assistance to your team is a lot higher than premium HE or AP shells. The other problem with AP shells is also sometimes you are unable to pen heavy tanks due to how strong the armor of the newer heavy tanks are nowadays. This tank, for example, has only 314 millimeters of penetration on the AP shells. So if you don't land your shell square on top of the enemy's turret, it's 50-50 that you pen them frontally. You see me again continuing to support the northern side of the map here because there's only Leopard and Char Future 4 defending the north. If I do not help them, what happens is they're going to die, get overrun, and then I will be the next victim. So it is imperative that I try to help them and try to alleviate the pressure for them a little bit more. This is why I keep clicking on the map and asking them to do a little bit of spotting for me, which the Leopard one is doing a poor job of. Finally spotted, I think it was the Char Future that spotted them, and I managed to probably land a shell in between the Leopard, the enemy Leopard, and the AMX, and probably temporarily stun them, which gives an opportunity for our Leopard and Char Future 4 to possibly do some damage into them. Again, I am moving and I am aiming at this position again, the AMX 30 and the Leopard 1, which is a serious threat to our Leopard and Char Future 4. Now our Char Future 4 is running away. He knows the danger of this situation because the enemy Leopard and AMX 30 have almost full HP, but I managed to land a penetrating HE shell here, which gives me the chance to actually completely destroy the Leopard 1, and I did over 995 damage, almost 1000 damage on that Leopard 1, and almost possibly single-handedly changed the outcome of this game. Killing that Leopard was very important because that meant that the Char Future 4 was under less pressure to finish off that AMX 30 by himself. So this gave us the opportunity to actually win this game with that AMX 30 and that Leopard destroyed. Now I can move forward. Now if you look at the enemy team, the STRV is still not spotted yet, but I still move forward, but cautiously. I use a bush just in case the STRV is somewhere around the base. He could spot me out, so I just make sure that I'm using a bush to hide myself while I'm moving forward. Why am I moving forward? I'm moving forward so that I can get the shell to land quicker. The closer I am, the faster the shell will hit the target, the more accurate I become. Now, what about carrying some premium and some AP shells? Yes, this could work well in certain situations. First, you want to be in a very accurate tank like the Object 261, which is a very accurate arty. Second, you want your victim to be mostly stationary, and on top of that, there's a huge downside even when the stars in the universe align for you. A tank like the Object 261 has very low shell trajectory to begin with, so when you go to switch to your ammo to the premium HE or the AP shells, you are going to find your angle of attack even lower. So you have to weigh this, whether it is worth missing the shot and having to wait another 30 seconds to reload, or maybe it's better that I get 2 shots of splash damage that probably do more damage with nearly 10 meters of splash radius. The law of averages say this is a no-brainer. Even if you are playing in an Object 261, a tank with very high accuracy for an artillery, the law of averages still dictate that you're probably better with your stock HE shells. I finally get to hit this guy accurately, and I didn't get the killing. I didn't get a big damage, but I did get to 243 damage for a direct hit with the HE shells, and we end up finishing the game. And look, I only did 2,752 damage in a very strong M50 53, 55, a very good artillery. If I just fired stock HE shells, this would have easily been a 3.5k 4,000 damage game. I hope you enjoyed this video and took some useful information, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.